Hills in the parade ring, and he's disappeared now, unfortunately, so we won't be able to get the word about No Worries. Here's number 11, Deputy Judd, quickly. He didn't put up any type of performance in the Vodacom Durban July, and, well, it'll take a big ask for him to reverse the form with Futura and Ice Machine. He'll finish in front of Legislate. Gareth Finzel's back. We got him back.
Gavin, you've got No Worries here. Always there, very reliable.
Yes, his honest horse has done really well for us, and at these terms with the draw, we know we've got it to do, but reporting on my horse is as well as he can be, and with a little luck and running, he'll be in the money.
So you get it in there for a quartet, possibly?
Well, we're hoping.
Right. Well, Stan Ellie's just standing right there to come in the picture. Stan, you've had a wonderful close to your season. We're so proud of you. Love to have you on Teletrack. And here, can you go out with a bit of a bang, because Punterinas is in great form.
As you said, he's had a sensational season, so I've told the boys, really, whatever happens today is a bonus. You can't take away from him what he's done. He's run his heart out 3 times now, and he's run very well on all occasions. Last season he had 5 runs. This is only his 4th this year, so he's still a reasonably fresh horse. And as such, we decided to have one more dip at it. And the conditions of this race. Obviously, it's not as easy as the July as being a handicap, but he's fitting well, and you know what he's going to do at Greyville. You know what you're going to get.
The 1800 is probably more suitable than the mile.
Better than the mile, but maybe the 2-2 of the July is about his best trip. But 1800, he won a very good race in the Cup trial. That was over 1800, so he's effective. I think the big thing is Greyville. He just likes Greyville, and he likes a good pace.
All the best, Dan.
Thanks, Martin.
Number 3, Ice Machine, Anton Marcus. Number 4 is Halve the Deficit, written by Raymond Danielson. Number 5, No Worries, Warren Kennedy aboard. Number 6 is Africa Burn, Stuart Randolph. Number 7, Punta Arenas. Ian Sturgeon rides Punta Arenas. Number 3, Ice Machine's going to stretch the legs. Another look at number 4, Halve the Deficit. On the way to the gate, number 4, Halve the Deficit. Champions Cup, Grade 1 over 1800 metres. 5, No Worries whips around. Number 7, Punta Arenas. Nine, Ashton Park. Ten was Helderberg Blue with a companion. Number 6, Africa Burns, about to go down. Can tell you number 2, Legislate's going to stretch past. Number 2, Legislate's gone. Africa Burn. That's the way Africa Burn goes down to the start. 11 is Deputy Judd. Number 8, Willow Magic. Number 1, Futura, Bernard Fader.
So it's the final Group 1 of this great Super Saturday meeting. It's the Champions Cup over 1,800 metres in a fantastic field. Last year's winner is involved here in the form of Futura. We've got legislators, a multiple Group 1 winner. The Group 1 winners all over the card in this 8th race, and it's going to be a fantastic event and a fantastic occasion to see who comes out on top. Obviously, Futura, top of the weight for age scale, highest rated horse in the race. Many believe the best horse in the country. His run in the Vodacom Durban July was full of merit. What do you make of his chances here, Jules?
I think he's the horse to beat, Alistair. You know, at the weights, as you mentioned, the highest rated horse in this field, a winner of it last year. I looked at him in the parade ring. Oh, he's magnificent to look at. So we know he runs over the course and distance. He does it well. And for me, I think the only horse that possibly could beat him is his stable companion, Legislate.
I was talking to John Freeman outside. I said, which one? He said, doesn't really mind as long as it's one of them.
Exactly. You know, as an owner, you want the best. I suppose you don't mind when you've got two runners in the race because your heart's with both of them. You just want them to have fair runs and equal chances. But I think from a punting side, I would be disappointed to see Futura get beat today. When
you actually look back on the racing calendar, these are the type of races that are put together for horses like Futura, because at the end of the day, handicaps theoretically are meant to make horses run in a straight line, give them an equal chance according to weights. But these weight for age races help horses like Futura and Legislate stamp their authority over the rest of the country's horses.
Well, of course, because the better a horse does, the more weight he needs to carry. So, you know, when they come into races like this, they actually get a chance of performing, giving their best at their correct weight without giving too much weight away to the other field. So that's why I think Futura for me stands out. Legislate, you can't take anything away from him. I know he finished third in a sprint. He was beaten just over 4.5 lengths by Captain of All. A lot are saying, well, that may have just taken the edge off of him. Justin Snaith, I think, knows what he's doing. So I'm sure he'll have him cherry ripe today.
How much of a blessing do you think it is for Legislate that this meeting's moved a week back?
Well, I think possibly a big blessing. You know, I think the fact that he's had an extra week just to get over that last race is going to certainly be in his favour. And I think that's what probably brings Futura and Legislate a lot closer together.
So those are obviously the two main protagonists in the 8th race. I wonder if Kevin Shea can tell us how both Futura and Legislate have arrived down at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Futura and Legislate really went down well, and I think out of the two, my personal fancy is Futura. Out of the two, really looked well, went down to the start well, and I think he's a big runner.
Okay, just quickly, Kev. Don't know if you're still with us. What's going through a jockey's mind behind the stalls in a big Group 1 like this?
Well, you see now these guys are all down. Yeah, they would have had their game plan already, and knowing where they want to be in their positions. The horses drawn well will like to hold their positions, and the horses that are drawn a little bit out to try and get in. So I think most of these jocks have had made up their game plan. Know how they're going to ride their races. Helderberg Blue's been playing up quite a bit since he's been down at the start, but that is his temperament. But looking at Futura, Legislate, Ice Machine, they are very relaxed and they look very well.
So those are obviously the hard hitters in this race, Jules. You and I haven't spoken about Ice Machine, and I know there are a few people here that give him a chance.
Number 3, Ice Machine, has to have a bit of a shot. But let's hear what Kevin has to say regarding Ice Machine, because I know he thinks that Futura is the horse to beat, but I know he fancies a little bit of Ice Machine to run a big race.
Yeah, I think Ice Machine's a very big runner. Yeah, I think the 1800 is his maximum distance. But for me, he's a real serious runner now. The starter has called him into line now, and you can see a couple of them are going in. Ice Machine, one of the few quiet ones, goes in early with no worries.
Loading them up. Please note you can still take bets. They're currently working on the problem, but you can still place your bets. There's no dividends at the moment, but you can still get those bets on as they load them up. Ashton Park's moving forward. Futura is ready. Deputy Judd. Africa Burn. This is the Champions Cup, Grade 1. It's over 1,800 metres. Helderberg Blue. Just working up Helderberg Blue. Hold the deficits ready. Next will be Legislate. He'll just bide his time as Willow Magic comes in. Champions Cup, Grade 1. Here's Legislate. Sideways on. Ice Machine's quiet. Legislate sideways. Gonna spin him around. Moves in Legislate. Stand by. Futura tried to rush the gates and they're racing away. Ashton Park missed the kick and Futura was slow, a length and a half. Deputy Judd's right there in the orange silks. Light the lights on the outside, the red cap. Then behind these, Punta Arenas a good position. Futura's making up some ground. No worries, and then comes Legislate. Half the deficit, Ice Machine and Helderberg Blue. They 6 and 7 lengths off the tempo. Africa Burn, Willow Magic, and the slow starting Ashton Park. I can tell you, Light the Lights has taken a keen hold, and there's no controlling Light the Lights. He's bolting out in front, using up plenty of energy. Light the Lights by 3. Deputy Judd, no worries. Punta Arenas and Futura's on the right-hand side. Then comes Half the Deficit. If you're on Legislate, he's got 6 lengths to make up. Ice Machine follows him through, stride for stride. Helderberg Blue, Ashton Park, Africa Burn at the back of the field. Willow Magic, there's 13 lengths in it. The freewheeling Light the Lights by a length and a half. How much energy has he used up? No worries, a second. Deputy Judd, Futura. Legislate's about to start up his engine. Ice Machine also goes comfortably in behind. Punta Arenas, there's only 4 lengths in it. Light the Lights at the top of the lane. Legislate looms large. Look at Ice Machine going behind him. Futura gets the wake-up call. Legislate, Ice Machine's a big runner. Futura's on the inside. Legislate, Ice Machine looks full of action on the stand side. Legislate drifts in. Ice Machine and Futura. Ice Machine hit the front. Futura's on the inside, but you go with Ice Machine the last 50. Futura digs in. Futura and Ice Machine. Maybe Futura from Ice Machine. Helderberg Blue and Legislate. Just when Ice Machine went on by, Futura, he rallies, and let's go with Futura. From Ice Machine in an absolute thriller. I think I saw Bernard Faderb salute as they got to the nod, so we're going to go with the judgment of Bernard Faderb. Ice Machine had him with 100 to go. At this stage, you with Ice Machine, and Futura rallies right back. Ice Machine and Futura, but you're going to probably find Futura's nose will come down. Here's the post Futura from Ice Machine. Futura and Ice Machine in an absolute thriller. They drive away from the rest of the field. Legislate, Helderberg Blue, and then came Africa Burn. Half the deficit, Punta Arenas is downfield. Well, Futura was the first of the 3 to come under a ride, and look at Ice Machine on the right-hand side. He's got winner stamped all over him. Legislate starts to drift in, and the last 75, Futura comes alive. Ice Machine starts to run in. That's probably just going to cost him, and that allows Futura to get there. They see Ice Machine lugs in late, and Futura will capitalize. On the post, big salute from Bernard Faderb. They pull it out the fire. Ice Machine game in defeat. He gave his all. Legislates back third with Helderberg Blue, but he has a terrific shot. Ice Machine, he drifts in the last 75, and that's going to allow Futura to nab him. There you'll see Anton Marcus trying to keep him as straight as possible. He's got the sabre in the right. He's got the reins twisted with his left hand there, but you're going to find Futura. He only wins by a whisker, but the number will go in. Number 1, Futura. From number 3, Ice Machine. Legislate having a right royal battle with Helderberg Blue. Back to the studio. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a scintillating finish with number 1 Futura getting his nose down on the wire. Number 3 Ice Machine, 2 Legislate, and 10 Helderberg Blue looking to wind up. Futura is the son of Dynasty from the Justin Snaith stable, bred by Guy Murdoch from Messrs Freeman, Mitchell, Drakenstein Stud, Mrs Rupert. Bernard Faderb got Futura to lift late on, and just when Ice Machine had the advantage, he started to shift in, and Futura got his nose down to deny. In the winner's box, number 1 Futura.
Well, we were just entertained to a thrilling finish in the Grade 1 Champions Cup. Futura, number 1, Justin Snaith, Bernard Faderb. Number 3, Ice Machine, Charles Laird and Anton Marcus. But there could only be one victor, and this horse has ran his heart out today, showing that he's a tremendous racehorse, as he's shown throughout the season, winning the Queen's Plate and the JNB Met. And he's certainly put his best foot forward today. Joining us for the presentation, Chairman of Gold Circle, Mr. Robert Movi. But first up, let's have a chat to the winning jockey, Bernard Faderb. Tremendous race, Bernard.
Yes, thank you very much. Just thank you to the whole team. It's just nice to be back on this champion. Hard to lose a ride like this, but it's just a real privilege to be back on him. I had like a really nice race. I positioned well, I thought, and coming into the straight, I knew it's going to have to be a good one to come and get me. And the two horses shot past, and he wasn't quite ready for me to let him go. So I was getting into him slowly, and then the last 200, I was like, "Come on, boy, now you're going to have to get there." And I saw Anton, and I was like, "Oh my God, why do I have to take him on in the last 50 meters?" So I was like, "Futura, you're going to have to help me out, boy." And he dug down deep. A lot of credit to the horse, to Justin, and to all the lovely owners. It's just a privilege to be associated with such great horses. And thank you to all the sponsors, to Ralph especially, that manages the track. I know they've had a hard time on this track. I came here yesterday and I ran around and I was like, geez, they've done a good job. And yeah, just thank you very much to everyone. It's a real privilege.
This horse won this race last year and he's defended his title with the Plum. I think you said it all about the heart, guts and courage that he's shown. You get on exceptionally well with him, Bernard, and a fantastic ride.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know what? This also all got to do with his preparation. Justin didn't quite know the horse, and he got to know the horse. And if you looked at this horse in the parade ring today, I mean, he just looked outstanding. Well done to him and his whole team.
Well done to the winning jockey, who is Bernard Fader, and joining the chairman, ambassador of KZN Racing, Mr. Bill Lambert. Next up, let's have the winning trainer, Justin Snate, and Burden touched on it. A horse that arrived at his yard not too long ago. He's had a few months now to work with him, and he's obviously a horse that you've got to know with time, Justin.
Look, it hasn't been easy. It was quite a sudden thing to start with a horse that Brett has done so well with. And after the July, I was a little bit disappointed, and I phoned Brett and had a short chat to him. And he loves this horse, and he was so nice. We could have a chat, and he gave me a little bit of advice. I thought he was a bit big in the July, but this horse so deserves this. He's come up here to Durban. He's done all the groundwork. And it's just such a pity, when the weights came out for the July, we looked at the weights and, we were like, should we run or shouldn't we? Should we rather scratch? And the decision was made, because obviously the punter's money was on him, and the decision was made to run him. But it was pretty much based on that the punter's money was on the horse, not that it's the best thing for the horse. Unfortunately for us, we knew with 60 on his back. Times have changed. Handicapping's become a big thing in South Africa, and sadly with big races like that, the best horse gets the biggest weight. And it's a very unfortunate. As time goes on from here on in, the Champions Cup will be the race for the champions, and the Durban July will be for the best weighted horse, which for me is a bit disappointing, and it's like that most places in the country. So these horses, unfortunately, will just go to every centre where there's weight for ages. So Unfortunately, we will never see them in the July and races like that, because they just don't have a chance. But on saying that, just want to say thanks so much to Jack, to Helga, to John, and obviously to now Drakenstein Stud involved in him. Just thank you so much for putting faith. If they got beat today, I think I should be fired. I was actually happy to be saying fire me, because to have stock like this and not produce the winners is criminal. So these horses deserve to be in the winner's box. They look a win in the parade ring. The owners are fantastic. Bernard is just top class on this horse. So just well done to the whole team, to Cyprian, the groom. He looked after Dancer's daughter, and he's going on leave. The horse is going on leave. I am fortunately not going on leave, but let them enjoy the win.
You know what? I just want to look back to Champion Season. You've always been a big supporter in Gold Circle country for Champion Season. And looking back at the results that you've had a tremendous last few months here in KZN.
Look, it was a big change that we all moved to Summerveld, and people don't like change. So everyone was a bit wary about it, but I can tell you Summerveld has been unbelievable. Tony Rivlin has done a fantastic job there. There's no excuses for all of us to be there and have the results that we should have. And this year, I've seen a big change with Gold Circle. Everyone's just pulling together, and I really wish them the best of luck, because they deserve it. And to Ilan on today's sponsoring such a fantastic day, just thank you very much.
Well done to yourself and your team, Justin.
Great, thank you.
Well done to winning trainer, Justin Snate. And then Justin touched on the owners who he's congratulated. John Freeman, Jack Mitchell, Drakenstein Stud, nominee Mrs. Gaynor Rupert. We got Kevin Somerville representing the stud farm today. Come through, guys. Let's have a chat. Jack, let's have a chat to you first. I've had many winning interviews with you concerning this horse, and here he's come to win another Grade 1 for you guys.
Yes, and you chatted to me in the ring beforehand, and I thought this was probably the one, and that, of course, I got from Justin. And, of course, he's a great horse, and, he's now won 4 Group 1s, and hopefully he could be Horse of the Year. We'll see.
Tremendous joy this season. The Queen's Plate, the Met, and then he's defended his title with the Plum.
Yeah, and I actually think, if you really look at it, one of his best races he ever ran was in the Durban July, the way the weights were. I think that was one of his best races.
John, you've been around many horses throughout your long, illustrious career. This must be up there with the best.
I'm finished, absolutely finished. It's all the nerves and the expectation, and Justin finally got the measure of this horse course, Cyprian, who's been a wonderful asset to him. He's calmed him down and got his nature. He's got a wonderful nature. And I agree with Jack. I think that this makes him Horse of the Year, and I'm looking forward to that.
Kevin, representing Drakensberg Stud, well done to Mrs. Rupert and the team.
Thanks very much. Yeah, she's absolutely thrilled. She's watching overseas, and she's just so happy for the other partners in the horse, and for Justin and the whole team, and Bernard. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's a magnificent trophy, and we're absolutely thrilled.
Please give her our best.
Thanks very much, Dees. Thank you.
Talking about a magnificent trophy, now for the owners to hold it aloft. Well done to the winning owners. Again, John Freeman, Jack Mitchell, and Drakensberg Stud nominee Mrs. Gaynor Rupert. A beautiful trophy and fitting for a champion. And that champion, number 1, Futura. And the gentleman that takes care of the son of Dynasty is Cyprian, and he's been given all the accolades throughout the interview. Well done to the winning groom, Cyprian. Big thank you to the chairman, Robert Maurice, and the ambassador of KZN Racing, Mr. Bill Lambert, for coming down and assisting us with the winning presentation. And to Futura, who won this race in 2015, has come through to defend his title in fine style. A gutsy win, holding off number 3, Ice Machine. But the 2015 champion in the Champions Cup is number 1, Futura.
Stand by. Futura tried to rush the gates and they're racing away. Ashton Park missed the kick and Futura was slow a length and a half. Deputy Judd's right there in the orange silks. Light the lights on the outside, the red cap. Then behind these, Punta Arenas a good position. Futura's making up some ground. No worries, and then comes Legislate. Half the deficit, Ice Machine and Helderberg Blue. They 6 and 7 lengths off the tempo. Africa Burn, Willow Magic, and the slow starting Ashton Park. I can tell you, Light the Lights has taken a keen hold, and there's no controlling Light the Lights. He's bolting out in front, using up plenty of energy. Light the Lights by 3. Deputy Judd, no worries. Punta Arenas and Futura's on the right-hand side. Then comes Half the Deficit. If you're on Legislate, he's got 6 lengths to make up. Ice Machine follows him through, stride for stride. Helderberg Blue, Ashton Park, Africa Burn at the back of the field. Willow Magic, there's 13 lengths in it. The freewheeling Light the Lights by a length and a half. How much energy has he used up? No worries, a second. Deputy Judd, Futura. Legislate's about to start up his engine. Ice Machine also goes comfortably in behind. Punta Arenas, there's only 4 lengths in it. Light the Lights at the top of the lane. Legislate looms large. Look at Ice Machine going behind him. Futura gets the wake-up call. Legislate, Ice Machine's a big runner. Futura's on the inside. Legislate, Ice Machine looks full of action on the stand side. Legislate drifts in. Ice Machine and Futura. Ice Machine hit the front. Futura's on the inside, but you go with Ice Machine the last 50. Futura digs in. Futura and Ice Machine. Maybe Futura from Ice Machine. Helderberg Blue and Legislate. Just when Ice Machine went on by, Futura, he rallies, and let's go with Futura. from Ice Machine in an absolute thriller. I think I saw Bernard Faderb salute as they got to the nod, so we're going to go with the judgment of Bernard Faderb. Ice Machine had him with 100 to go. At this stage, you with Ice Machine, and Futura rallies right back. Ice Machine and Futura, but you're going to probably find Futura's nose will come down. Here's the post Futura from Ice Machine. Futura and Ice Machine in an absolute thriller. They drive away from the rest of the field. Legislate, Helderberg Blue, and then came Africa Burn. Half the deficit, Punta Arenas is downfield. Well, Futura was the first of the three to come under a ride, and look at Ice Machine on the right-hand side. He's got winner stamped all over him. Legislate starts to drift in, and the last 75, Futura comes alive. Ice Machine starts to run in. That's probably just going to cost him, and that allows Futura to get there. There's the Ice Machine lugs in late, and Futura will capitalize. On the post, big salute from Bernard Faderb. They pull it out the fire. Ice Machine game in defeat. He gave his all. Legislates back third with Helderberg Blue, but he has a terrific shot. Ice Machine, he drifts in the last 75, and that's going to allow Futura to nab him. There you'll see Anton Marcus trying to keep him as straight as possible. He's got the sabre in the right. He's got the reins twisted with his left hand there, but you're going to find Futura. He only wins by a whisker, but the number will go in. Number 1, Futura. From number 3, Ice Machine. Legislate having a right royal battle with Helderberg Blue. Back to the studio.